Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, everyone, here we are after market close on Tuesday, August 17th. We're going to take a look at Proterra. And PTRA was suggested in the comments as, or requested, I guess is the better term. So if you have a ticker that you'd like me to cover, feel free to drop it in the comments below. If I don't respond and say that I've put it on the list, then feel free to drop it again because that means that I did not see it yet. All right, so Proterra have been in this protracted downtrend at this point. Certainly having several, I'm just looking for like several down channels here that it's been caught in and now has fallen through this most recent or micro downtrend. Oops, definitely not green, red. And so, with a big volume picking up and big sell volume obviously coming out. So not a great moment looking for Proterra. And I mean, sort of one way to look at it is it's come down and filled this entire gap right now, but I mean, it's taken many, many months to do that. So I don't know that that's really what happened, but quite a disappointment after this enormous gap up and topping out at 3106 and then just been basically in free fall since then. Obviously having a ton of struggles in this area right here. This is like a huge topping out point for it. So if it's able to make a run back up there at any point in time, I'd be very interested to see what it does there, meaning, has it consumed all of the selling pressure that existed there previously, and are folks willing to continue to buy in at that level at this point, or will there still be a lot of selling pressure there? That'll be the question, if it's even able to make it there. Now, these prices to the upside show previous supply and demand zones where it had support and resistance, taken in the same zone. And so those could be sort of sticky points to the upside if it's able to even effectuate a reversal here. It definitely has a ton of headwinds, so this is going to be a challenging one. I don't know if there's really a gap there. Okay. So there is kind of this big gap here from 1196 to 1431, but it has a lot of work to do to get itself to 1196. And to the downside, where it might find a floor is kind of anyone's guess. I mean, you see 970 on the downside back here, and now it's at 938, having hit a low of 926 today. So it's really kind of in no man's land. In these types of situations, being that it's left its channel, even though it was a down channel, at least you could kind of follow it down. And it doesn't have previous price action below it to try to come to any conclusions from. I try to rely on indicators, and you see the MACD here sitting well below the baseline down here, minus 1.6-ish area. And then even on this bullish crossover, which was pretty lackadaisical, it made it up to minus 0.82, and now it's curling back down, seemingly lost all of its gusto from this little bit of push on the histogram, and already ready to enter into a bearish crossover. So whether or not it'll head fake on that and it could bounce off, I mean, I don't know. I have to keep an eye on it, but if it enters an additional bearish crossover, obviously that's some pretty bad news. It doesn't have a huge history, looking back here, it doesn't have a huge history of being so low on the MACD and then hitting a very formal bearish crossover. You sort of see one here, but even that's much closer to the baseline. You see one here, and that's sort of like the head fake that I was kind of talking about. It looks like it's gonna jab through and then it kind of quickly reverses and comes back. You see this crossover is well above the baseline. So, I don't have a position in Proterra. If I was looking at this chart, which I am, but if I was thinking about taking a position personally, I wouldn't at the moment because of this catastrophic sell-off that it has endured, and it's fallen out of its down channel, and I don't have previous price action in order to try to know where a floor could be established, and the MACD looks like it's about to enter into a bearish crossover, and that's on the daily chart. So this, these things take longer to form, so this could be in a bearish crossover downtrend for a lengthier period of time. RSI, I mean, there's kind of no point in looking at it. It's going to be very low. And then the MAs, similarly speaking, obviously in a bearish formation. The only little bit of hope that there could have been here is if the 20 MA was coming in to help provide some support underneath. But I mean, you see that tried to happen here. It tried to jump up off of it a little bit, and it had a couple of days of positive activity, plus 7.5%, plus 3.65. But then it just fell right back through it and lost all those gains. And we see up here, it was hitting the 20 MA as resistance all along the way. So yeah, doesn't have a great history. I mean, it was mostly just this enormous gap up, and then it just has this storied history of selling off and losing support along the way. So, I don't see a ton working in its favor at this point. Potentially if there's some good news, some good catalysts that come out, it could reverse course, but there's nothing in the chart right now that's screaming to me that there's reversal potential at the moment, but you never know. Worth keeping an eye on if you're really interested in the company or really interested in the stock, of course. But this is just what I see at the moment. Good luck if you're in this one. I certainly wish you the best, and that'll do it for me. I will see you in the next video.